Welcome to TNA, ladies and gentlemen, the excellence of professional wrestling on any cable channel. I can't do that with a straight face. Let's be honest here, ladies and gentlemen. TNA, compared to last year, is different. Let's be honest here. It is not 100% different. It is not a 180-degree turn. They're still going by what they already know. But let's be honest here. The feel of the show is different. And that's what we've been wanting for a long time, since TNA has been so restricted. Going by this show, was it a good show? Things needed to be done last year and now being done now. And I believe that was due to them not having a contract. So it is a bit late. Let's be honest here. Everything that's been done here is late. But at least it's good to see it. Now, the opening of the show, when it came to MVP finally explaining what was going on with Samoa Joe and Lashey, and I know you're going to say, dude, it just happened last week. Why are you saying finally? Well, the thing is this. Because of how TNA was on Spike, so much information that should have been done was just left blank. And at least seeing that they're willing to, and this is creative, to finally give us information that will make the product more understandable is important. Doesn't mean it was great that MVP did in his promo. No, he was botching a little bit. But I'm glad to see it. Excuse me. Crazy weather making me still sick. But it is good to see it. Kurt Angle coming out to the ring was a good idea. The Beatdown Clan, I'm saying this right now up front. Seeing another faction is tiring. Maybe if this was done individually and it just came together afterward. If it was Samoa Joe, Lashey, and MVP, I could understand it. Throw away Kenny King. I'm not against Kenny. I still think that he's viable. But in the character that he is in, it just doesn't work for him. It just doesn't. I'm being honest here. If he had not been a part of the Beatdown Clan, baby, it would have been a lot more smarter. Seeing Eli there, or EY, wasn't too bad. But what we want to focus on is what's going on with Kurt Angle and his comeback. I have this feeling that Kurt Angle is not going to be staying there very long, even though he'll have a several-year contract. And what I mean by staying there long is he might be changing from a role of getting what the hell he wants to actually putting people over to a certain extent. I could still be wrong. Because when you look at what happened with Samoa Joe and him in the match right after this little talk with the Beatdown Clan, Samoa Joe won clean. 100%, no problem, straight up clean. Now that's something that you could say, why would they sacrifice bringing back Kurt Angle just to job him out to Samoa Joe? He won last week, but this week, why? Well, this is to put over the Beatdown Clan. We already know this. And this also went with Austin Aries going against Lashey. Now, seeing Kenny King help Lashey was not something I wanted to see. It would have been better if he just straight up beat Austin. That's what I was hoping for. But we didn't get that. At the end, Austin Aries lost his title to a Lashey. But at least it's good to see a Lashey, a guy who was Caval in the WWE. And I know you're going to say, dude, he's an old WWE guy. Right now, I don't really care about WWE guys being old. I care about right now TNA rebuilding itself into a better brand. And in this moment right now, we are going to see WWE guys come out of the woodworks on and off through their time on Destination America. So I am not going to go crazy. I'm hoping they'll choose wisely. Maybe young talent, not old, used talent. That's what I'm hoping for. Unless it's very specifically special old talent that you would normally not see on a TNA. That might be very special. But as I said, I'd rather see Lashey win that match. When it came to seeing Eli and Rude, there was no interference. Rude's promo segment beforehand felt a little generic. The crowd did put it over though. That was the thing that I was hoping for. I know the New York crowd is so overplayed. They're the ones who can get people over. But in this case, it was good it did happen. Because it was quite generic to me personally. Just hearing how he talked. Not until the end when he made this about revenge and justice. Not about just saying I'm just a wrestler. This is my love. This is my life. That bit was bullshit. Seeing him say, you just fucked me. You were my friend for 15 years and you just fucked me. I want to rip your fucking head off. That was the part that the crowd really put over with them saying Rude got screwed. I am glad they did that. And the match itself was very good. I believe it was the second match of the night. Samoa Joe and Angle was the first because of... I know people are going to say, what about Austin Aries and Low Ki? It wasn't a bad match. I liked it. But when it comes down to it, a very good technical match in the very beginning of the show, and this street fight, which has been overplayed so many times, was not a bad match. The ending with Eli doing the pile driver was pretty good. So I'm going with that. Since Eli's not a part of the Beatdown clan, that's cool. Now, seeing the tag match with the girls, with I'm glad to see Brooke. I am glad to see the lovely ladies of the beautiful people. Look, if I was given a choice between having Velvet Sky and Angelina Love, Velvet's a good looking woman with nice boobs. Angelina Love is a beautiful woman with almost no boobs. Very skinny compared to Velvet Sky. I gotta admit, I will go to Angelina Love. Not because I like skinny women, it's because she just has something that's more appealing at this moment to me. Not saying I don't like a woman with big boobs. And to be honest, I've had two beautiful women in my life. One I got married to, one I had a relationship, who have big boobs. And big boobs do not make a relationship. Neither will a woman with small boobs. But substance is more important than always physical appearance, even though it is a lot of times preferred to most people. Not saying I don't like big boobs. But seeing their match really didn't matter to me. I'm glad to see a Brooke there. It would have been better if she attacked Robbie E a couple more times. I would have liked to see that because I think that the best option here is to have an intergender match between Robbie E and Brooke. I really think that really would help the knockouts. Because this is what it really comes down to. Seeing Awesome Kong beat the crap out of the beautiful people was one thing. But having a Havoc and Awesome Kong face to face to each other, I really believe TNA is really banking on Awesome Kong and Havoc really giving new life to the Knockouts division. And I am doing a debate of the week on that. Watch for it after this. But I'm glad to see their face to face. I do admit, I do agree with Fool Killer that having two big women in the women's division is a problem because you don't have enough women to make it work. With Awesome Kong and Havoc, you got like 10 women now, maybe 11? And you need like 15 or 20 women to make this really work. Having two monsters there will really make it work. But so short of an amount of women, it does have its problems. And I don't take anything away from Fool Killer. I still watch the guy. He's really cool about this. But I'm trying to see the positives of just having two large women in a situation that we normally don't see. Now, the Hardys and Wolves match with the Evolution. Oh, the Storm now has this big monster of a guy who comes from India. I can't remember his name. I can't remember. For some reason, I just blanked on the guy's name. But it's going to depend on how this guy acts in the ring. They're taking their time bringing him in. Let's just hope that he has enough polish that he will do well. Because if he doesn't have polish, he's going to end up like a Tyrus. He will. No matter how much muscle he got, he's not doing anything. Now, the Hardys win. They go up against Storm and his gang. It's not a bad thing, not a good thing right now. But I was kind of hoping that the Wolves would go after the Hardys. That could be next week. That could be next week. That's what I'm hoping for. Now, the Feast and Fire is coming back. I'm going to be doing Debate of the Week on Feast and Fire. And is it really going to help TNA early in its new life on Destination America? To be honest, I'm going to say it's simply, I'm not sure the gimmick is right at this moment, but I am going to elaborate on another Debate of the Week. Finally, if I'm forgetting anything, oh yeah, I am forgetting one last thing before the ending of the show. JB versus EC3. I don't know about this. I don't know why they're using JB in this situation. It's not a bad thing, because they could still get Spud over having him go over such an obstacle as a Tyrus to help his friend to get revenge on the guy who he thought was his best friend. I understand why they're doing it. I'm interested in seeing how they're going to promote this next week. But to be honest, the problem I see is that since Rockstar Spud has not been doing any matches with anyone other than EC3, well, not matches, basically, he hasn't done anything but fight against Tyrus, and very briefly against EC3. The problem I see is that people, even though are for him, he needs some wins in the ring. And seeing a Spud not get any matches and not get any wins in the ring on top of whatever little matches he's doing kind of takes away from him for me. But I'd like to hear what you guys think about Spud, because I really do believe if they do this right and they build Spud just right, he could still get over in some form of fashion, not winning in the ring, but doing something in the back. But it's got to be structured properly, and I'm kind of worried they're not going to do it right. Finally, what explains the show. My show. I can't even say it. Don't forget that. I was going to say This Week in Impact. It just doesn't roll off the tongue as well. The beatdown of Lashley and him turning face. Finally, as I said in the beginning of this show, things that should have been done before they switched from Spike to Destination America have now been done now. To be honest, it feels very late. It does. At least for me personally, it feels very late that TNA is doing it now. But it's understandable. They just didn't want to do it. Is it the right decision? No. I really believe they should have done it when they were in Spike. But they decided to do it here. Was it done badly? No. It was actually done pretty well. Eli was there. The way that MVP did talk, he still felt a little botchy. But Hassan, my mistake. Hassan did do a decent job making it important that he loved A. Lashley as his man, his friend, his buddy, and then destroy his ass with his partners. Now, the question for me, personally, will they make Lashley talk long promo segments? He is not a good talker. I've said this when Lashley came in months upon months ago into TNA. Before he switched to becoming a part of the trifecta of professional wrestling of I just almost got things confused. I'm still sick. But you know what I mean. The trifecta, which is MVP, which is King, and which is Lashley. He's not a good talker. He's not. He's a terrible talker. He just does not have it as a talker. Short and to the point, as quick as possible, is what Lashley needs to do. Very much like Roman Reigns. And I know I'm bringing in WWE stuff, but I'm going to do that for a reason, and you'll understand. Lashley must be limited to his speaking amount. If he's not, he's going to look very choppy, and he's going to put some people off. Not everyone, but some. He can be a very generic face. Sometimes he can be a great heel as long as he has a promoter, in other words, a manager helping him. He doesn't have that now. He's going to be all by himself. So if he talks too much, it is going to take away from his character. He must be as quiet as possible. So the question is going to be, are they going to do that? But it's obvious he's going to have a program with MVP, which is not something that's bad. MVP is very known to be a very good talker. He is. And that's what I'm hoping from TNA. Set up Lashley in a way that he doesn't need to talk. Let MVP talk and let Lashley just try to kick his ass. Now, last thing I'm going to talk about is the feel of the show. And I said it early in the beginning of this review that it's different. Is it great? No, they still go mainly by what they know. But as I said, when Destination America was announced, 6 months I give TNA for straightening out most of their shit. I don't expect them to be great out of the box. They're not. But I do expect them to progressively give us something better. And like I said, part of this review, we need new blood in there. Now, does it mean we have to bring in WWE guys? Yes. Does it mean it has to be old timers? No. There's several guys that used to be part of the WWE that were never really given big positions that could come in that actually were pretty damn good and that people were behind them. And I know a lot of people are going to say, dude, we don't need WWE guys. It's bullshit. Look, I'm seeing it from a point of view of a 5-year plan for TNA if they last that long in Destination America and go beyond that. TNA needs to rebuild itself. It's basically flat right now. If no one even knows about where TNA is, they have to go online and look through live streams to see it. That's what I had to do because there's no cable connection here with Destination America. But the point is, they need to rebuild themselves. If they get new talent from ROH, if they get it from Lucha Underground, I'm not saying they're going to bring like a Chavo Guerrero back. I hope they don't because he's never been a great character and talent in TNA. If they bring over John Morrison or John Mongo, that would be a pretty decent idea. If they go to WWE and they see a lot of people being thrown out, do that. Take a few of those people that have been thrown away, grab them. Look at what happened with British Boot Camp 2. Now, I haven't had a chance to really look at it. I saw maybe 1 or 2 episodes. But they should bring some people in and focus more on the European crowd. American crowd is important, but European crowd is where they're going to make really great strides because a lot of times Americans look at what Europeans look at. That's what I believe needs to be done for TNA. Bring in people. And if you must bring in a really old-time WWE guy, bring in someone you don't normally see in the WWE to do anything. Like a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Hell, let me see a Scott Hall. Not a Big Daddy Cool. No. Scott Hall. DDP. Bring those people in. Jake the Snake Roberts. I know they're under contract. They're going to be working with WWE. But if they weren't, just see it in those respects of really old guys that could spark something special for a short, brief time of 3 to 5 months. That's what my hopes is. Something to build them into something interesting. But I do hope they bring in younger talent, even if they were from former WWE. I hope you enjoy this week in Impact. Please give me a comment below. I hope you enjoy this. Watch out for my debate of the week on Havoc and Kong. And what I believe is going to be good for the knockouts. Peace out!